Hey, what is going on? So in the past, I've made videos on how to grocery shop on a budget. In today's video, I'm going to be making 2 recipes that you can use to meal prep food throughout the week using those low-cost foods. Let's get into it. Recipe number 1. It's a pretty simple recipe and it is turkey stir fry. You've got 3 main ingredients. Ingredient number 1 is your turkey. You want to get some ground turkey breast. Today I will actually be using trifecta ground turkey. This is already cooked, but I will be reheating it and adding in the special sauce that we'll be making. You can, of course, get your ground turkey from the store. I choose trifecta because it delivers right to my doorstep and I get it already cooked. I can put it in a recipe like this or just microwave it and it's ready to go. So that's ingredient number 1. Ingredient number 2 that is main is going to be your stir fry mix. You can get frozen stir fry mix, or today I've got this peppers and onions blend. So it's green and red bell peppers with onions, and I'll be using that, as well as rice. And you can really choose any type of rice. I've got a mixture of white and brown long grain rice that we'll be using there. And then we're gonna make the sauce ourselves. I do like making my own sauce if possible, if it's not too many steps, because you can kind of control the palate level there. We're gonna be able to control how spicy we want this. And we're also keeping the ingredient list low, so there's no preservatives in what we'll be making today for the sauce, as well as it's lower calorie. So let's jump into this recipe number 1. Step number 1 is you want to get your rice started. Now, you always use a 2-to-1 ratio when making rice. So I'm going to be adding 2 cups of rice to this 4 cups of water already in here. One and 2. Stir it on up there a little bit. And then when we take this over to the rice cooker, you can cook your rice stovetop, but I find the rice cooker is just so easy. So you put your rice in there with the water and you turn it on and you don't come back until it's ready. Step number 2 is you'll get your meat ready to go and throw it into the pan. So for this, we'll go ahead and cut it open. Again, this is trifecta and the meat is already cooked, but I do find that it comes out a little bit better if I heat it back up in the pan. So I cut these out, we'll get them, and this has the weight on there. We've got 8 ounces on each side. So 8 ounces here, 8 ounces over here. We put them both in. We've got 16 ounces, 1 pound of turkey ready to go. And we'll add a little bit of olive oil into the pan. You could do it before, or we're gonna end up chopping all this up anyways. So that's about 1 tablespoon of olive oil. And we'll get the pan hot and get this meat cooking. So reminder, we're going to be making the sauce for this once the turkey is done cooking, so we don't really need to add salt or pepper or seasoning to it right now because the sauce is going to provide the majority of the flavor. Just want to make sure that you get this all the way broken up, and as it cooks down more, whether you got raw ground turkey and you need to break it up, or you have already cooked like I did from trifecta, it'll break up the more that it cooks. So we'll just keep breaking this down. Come back when it's ready. So now that the turkey is almost finished cooking and it's broken up a little bit more, we'll turn the heat down to a simmer and we'll move on to our peppers. I've already added olive oil into the pan here, and we're going to take this entire bag and put it into the pan. We want to get this nice and hot, and one thing about frozen vegetables is that they can become a little bit more watery and you might lose some of the crisp texture, but I'll show you how we're going to cook this. We're going to heat it up really quick and then we'll remove some of that moisture and try to get some of the life back into the vegetable, if you will. So the trick to making frozen vegetables taste almost like they were fresh is I do cook them with a lid. This is going to keep the moisture in there. It's going to help get all of the ingredients, whatever's in there, whatever you're cooking, all to the same temperature, and then we'll take away that lid and we'll actually drain out some of that water once it's all heated up, and it'll give that bottom layer a little bit of crispiness and have everything heated to the same temperature. You'll take your peppers over once they're warmed all the way up and try to get as much of the water out as you can. You'll take your peppers, put them back on the stove, get that temperature set to high again, and we're gonna let the bottom cook up just a little bit, and these are ready to go. Now time to make my favorite Asian secret sauce. First, we're gonna start with our sriracha. All right, now sriracha can be pretty spicy. I don't think it's too spicy. You want to take a small bowl and pretty much cover the entire bottom evenly with the sriracha. Next, we'll take our honey, and you don't want to go overboard, but give yourself a generous amount of honey. So again, you're doing another layer over. And then lastly, we're going to add our soy sauce. You can either get regular, low sodium, or gluten-free soy sauce, whatever floats your boat there. And we'll add in about 2 layers worth of soy sauce. You'll take your spoon, you'll mix it together, and this is going to make kind of like a spicy Korean teriyaki sauce, if you will. It tastes better if you spill some on the counter, just like that, you know. All right, and we'll go ahead and add this over to our turkey. We'll take that sauce and just pour it over everything. I like adding it while the pan is still warm. It's going to help get that sauce soaked into the meat. And you'll take your spoon or your spatula and go ahead and stir it into the meat. So really, you don't have a lot of calories added here. You have a little bit from the sriracha and a little bit from the honey. But other than that, it's a pretty low calorie and very potent and flavorful seasoning. And that's it. The super easy turkey stir fry is ready. We've got the delicious turkey, our seasoned vegetables, and a bed of rice underneath. Now, what we did cook is for a meal prep. So this is one portion of many that I'll put away in the fridge for another day. The macros for this specific meal are on screen. It makes it easy to meal prep and go throughout your week and have these healthy, balanced meals. If you thought that last recipe was easy, this recipe is even easier. This is tangy pulled chicken barbecue sandwiches with sweet potato fries and green beans on the side. Now again, I'm using trifecta meats for this one. I've got fully cooked pulled chicken, and this is 16 ounces of chicken. It is already cooked, but I do think it tastes better if you put it on a pan and heat it up a little bit. Once it's heated up and crispy, we'll add the barbecue sauce to it and put it in our sandwiches. But first things first is we've got to get these sweet potato fries in the oven and ready to go. Now, if you don't have an air fryer, I do recommend getting one. It makes cooking things like fries or other recipes significantly easier, faster, and without the need of adding oil to any of your food. So if you don't have this, you can of course cook your fries in the oven, but I'm gonna go ahead and open this air fryer up now that it's preheated. We'll get our French fries put into there. Give it a good shake. It goes in there. We'll turn it all the way on, get it to temperature 400 for 15 minutes. You press start, and that's it. We'll give it a shake. When there's about 5 minutes left, we'll shake it back up, add some salt, but till now, we just let it cook. So I've already added my chicken to the pan. I've got it on a medium to high heat. I'm gonna let this cook all the way out. You can use ground turkey, you can slice up turkey breast, or you can use pulled chicken like I'm using. Now, while we let this cook, we'll go ahead and take our green beans. Again, I get mine from Trifecta, but you can of course get fresh green beans or frozen green beans from the store. We've added a little bit of oil into the pan. We'll get our green beans in there. Once they get cooking a little bit, we'll add some salt and pepper. I love this rice cooker. Literally just says it's done. It says it's on warm right now. The rice is absolutely perfect. Now that the rice is done, we can add our rice vinegar to it and go ahead and plate our food. So now that our chicken is warmed up, we'll go ahead and lower the temperature down to a low or medium heat. And then I will be adding in this sugar-free barbecue sauce, of course, low calorie. And for the sandwich, it's gonna taste great. There's just something that feels so masculine and manly about grinding your own salt. So we're at the 5-minute mark. The fries are almost done. I'll take some cooking spray, olive oil. We'll go ahead and spray this on the fries, which will help give them a little bit of extra crisp for the last 5 minutes, as well as it'll help the salt stick to them. Now, when cooking fries, you don't want to add salt into the beginning because the salt will soak into the potatoes and it'll cause them to actually be soggier. You want to wait till the end to add salt so that your fries stay crispy. So now that all our food is cooked and prepared, which only took about 15 minutes for everything to get done, and over here, it's time to go ahead and plate our meal. These chicken barbecue sandwiches are going to be absolutely delicious. You'll go ahead and take your chicken with the barbecue sauce already added, put it on your bun here. You'll take some red onion, chopped up and prepared, ready to go. And most people will want to add some extra barbecue sauce right on top. This sugar-free barbecue sauce is virtually no calorie, very, very low. So it's okay to add a little bit extra onto there. That is your chicken sandwich ready to go. We'll get some of these delicious sweet potato fries loaded up, as well as our green vegetable ready to go. And here is your delicious chicken barbecue sandwich.